How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another Bitcoin update. It's an important one because Bitcoin is bouncing off major bull market support. This has served as the last two bottoms back in April of this year and the 2024 entire year. Consolidation bottomed out on the 55 weekly. So back then it was at 50,000 and a year later it's sitting at 100K. A double, which is absolutely incredible. And previously, when this actually was used as support, and we also saw the 20 moving average on the weekly time frame recovered, a new high was put in. Once again, same thing, bounce off the 55, but it must also recover the 20. So we really need to see this pump now sustain beyond the 20 weekly moving average, and that is sitting at exactly $110,700. So if Bitcoin can now recover 110.7K, it's meant to signal for a new all-time high. If I were to show you those bullish targets of mine, I would look at the last correction from earlier this year, as well as this current one that we're living through, and looking for some confluence. So I'm seeing that around 130 and 140,000 has a lot of confluence. So that is where I think Bitcoin would be headed to next. Of course, it has higher projections than that, but just for some immediate short-term targets, if this 20 weekly moving average is actually successfully recovered. So this bounce that we're getting right now off of the 55 weekly, as it has served as the last two major bottoms, this should lead to altcoins relief rallying. Their rallies have to sustain. That's only going to happen if Bitcoin can recover this key 110.7K. We're already seeing some altcoins pumping today, but once again, these just could be relief rallies unless we see the 20 weekly moving average recovered. Let's dive down onto the daily time frame. We can now see this level. We've tapped into this area over here, just like that, and it has been respected as support. If we bring out some Fibonacci's over here, we can see that just reaffirming that key level of support between the 1 fib and the 886. This is exactly where the market has to pivot off of to avoid the bearish target. So you can see that once this key area green box is lost, 91K would become the direct next target. If you don't want to see that price, if you don't want altcoins to bleed, well, the weekly moving average shows it has to bounce from here. And as well as just using horizontal support levels, this being the previous higher low. Once this was lost, this is the next swing low. So we've tapped down into that. And that's why it's important on this bounce back up to recover 107K and 110.7K. Let me find that for you guys. Just put it around there. So over the following days now, the remainder of this week, it's very important that this is not used as resistance, that this is actually recovered and flipped back into support if you want to see those bullish targets. Like, subscribe, comment, and share. If you wanted to learn my strategy, use the links down below. Take action on this 30% discount while it lasts until Friday the 7th of November. This can be applied to my Discord, ebook, or one-to-one mentorship plans. So check them out and I'll see you over there.